Well, happy Thanksgiving. You're probably watching this on Thanksgiving, and this is my 2025 Thanksgiving special. And you know, I had this idea to do this because I had some buddies and I said, why don't we go out? We'll go out by the campfire, cook some Thanksgiving-ish food on the campfire, and then I'm gonna share it with you guys. And I thought maybe some of you are out there, you know, you're stuck with family and you wanna get away, you wanna have a little break, or maybe you don't have any family, or maybe you have nothing to do. You could sit here and watch me bumble my way through trying to cook casseroles and stuff over a campfire. So this is going to be a Thanksgiving special in many different versions of special, I suppose. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So as I was getting stuff ready, I was inspired to do this by a YouTuber named Paul Harrell, rest in peace, he used to do these every year, and I discovered them back when I was a single dad. And you know what? It was pretty nice to be able to just sit back and have about an hour and watch an old guy like me, you know, just make some stuff, tell old stories, and just have a good time. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. Kind of recap this crazy first year that I've had on this platform. But today, we're gonna make two different things. So, by the way, big rest in peace to Paul Harrell. We lost him this year. That was, and if you don't know who he is, I think you can just look and you'll see. It'll be pretty prevalent. One of the only YouTubers in that genre that doesn't have some sort of drama associated with him. You know, good on him. Today we're gonna make two different things over the campfire. Number one, so we're gonna make one of my favorites, and that's Tater Tot Casserole. All right, today we're gonna make two different things, and already this Thanksgiving special is special. So the initial meal was going to be Tater Tot Casserole, or hot dish if you're from Minnesota or Wisconsin. So it was gonna be that, and then what I call church lady chicken, which is a chicken that my mom has made for the last 40 years after getting it out of a church cookbook when I was a kid. So both very simple, very easy, that you can make and take to your next, you know, potluck, your next family get together. And we're gonna do it over a campfire, or you can do it over a campfire. Now, where I said this is the first special part of this special is I forgot the tater tots. Yeah. So we're gonna have a green bean and hamburger casserole with church lady chicken. I did remember everything for the church lady chicken though, so that's good. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and get started with our tater totless tater tot casserole, AKA, you know, and you can do it this way, by the way, and I've done it this way, is just have green bean and beef casserole. So this is actually a variation that we've done at home. Now you'll see I'm pouring in ground beef in here. Yeah, I pre-cooked it before I came out at home, just because of time. I am a little, and time and cooking ground beef over a campfire, super easy, but I didn't want to bring my cast iron. I didn't want to have to mess with it. And by the way, all of you who, yeah, I have big hands. All right, so we have our ground beef in there, and I did put some gloves on. You know, I don't want to hear it, but it's up to you if you wear gloves or not. I'm doing it today since I'm preparing for other people, and I'm trying to not give everybody salmonella. Okay, that's a noble cause, I feel. So, if you haven't done this before, this is super easy. So like I said, I pre-cooked this ground beef, and you'll see it's got a little fat there. It's okay. I pre-cooked it at home because I did not want to deal with bringing all the extra stuff out here for cooking it over, you know, getting that prep, just for time, you know, no big deal. So we got our ground beef. So this, about the tray, a pan this size, and you can use a glass pan the same size, about 2 pounds. This is like 2.3. They didn't have 2 pounds at the store I went to last night. So that's the first thing you want to put in there. Second thing we want to put in there is you want to put some cream of mushroom soup. And you know what? Some people will say dilute it with some milk or whatever. I find it works. It tastes a lot better if you just use straight cream of mushroom. Don't add milk, don't add water. And for 2 pounds, I'll do 3 cans of Campbell's. And you know, you can use the cheap stuff if you want to. You can use the generic stuff. I just find this tastes better, frankly. And by the way, when we're making this, all right, we're back. I'm having a moment today. Like I said, this is a Thanksgiving special. It's definitely special. So 2 pounds of meat ish. I used 80/20, so I wasn't too upset when it was I think it was 2.39 pounds or something like that. You know, perfect, whatever. That's just right. Because when you use 80/20, you're going to get a lot of that weight cook off with fat. So you do that in about a pan this size, and you do 3 cans of cream of mushroom. There we go. 3rd can. We're going to take these off now because green beans. So get those. And because I forgot a can opener, we're going to do actually something outdoors related, and we're going to use the can opener on the Leatherman. Like I said, we are in things I forgot, things I didn't do territory. So as I'm doing this is one of those things, like I said, that it's kind of a staple here in the Midwest. Green bean casserole, tater tot casserole. I'm kind of doing some kind of ridiculous combination of both, because I don't have crispy onions. You know,
it's low carb tater tot casserole.
Ooh! Someone just had a brilliant. I have developed a keto tater tot casserole. So there we go. And I've also gotten the wrong implement out. Again, how many times can I screw up in one video? I'm gonna hate myself when I'm editing this. All right, so I don't know if I've said it already, because I'm gonna have to do about 100 edits because reasons, but I've somehow developed keto tater tot casserole. You know how you do that? You don't put the tater tots in it. It's brilliant. So we got our little Leatherman, and we got a little can opener, and I can't wait for the comments on this one. But you just kind of go across. Ain't gonna go fast, but you see how you break the seal there? All right, then you just, again, we're gonna do this probably, looks like maybe 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 cans of green beans. Just kind of depends. You gotta eyeball it, all right? So back to the montage of me sitting here opening the can. All right, we're back. So we added 2 cans of green beans because of the size of this particular pan. So what we're gonna do now, before we mix it all up, we're gonna add a little bit, this is what I always do with my tater tot casserole. Add a little bit of cheese before I mix it up. So then we're gonna mix everything together, right? Get everything all nice and mixed up. Now, normally, if we weren't making keto tater tot casserole, we would mix this all up and we'd put the tater tots on top. However, we're making keto tater tot casserole today, not because Ben forgot the tater tots half hour away at home, but because, you know, we're trying to be healthier here. And actually, you know what? This is probably going to turn out pretty good. And this would be something you could take to an office potluck, or you could take to a family get-together. And if you saw how easy this is to put together, because, you know, guys, I don't know about you, but sometimes I like to cook, and sometimes I like easy stuff that I can throw together that is good. And I will say, the one thing I usually do with the ground beef that you don't see on camera is with the ground beef, I usually use some seasoned salt, some Lowry's seasoned salt. So that's my thing. And as I'm making this, I'm just thinking back, this is kind of part of the reason I'm doing this is because usually I do stuff like this for office potlucks here over the holidays and stuff, but I don't have those this year. That's one downside of working from home, I suppose, is you don't get, you know, that kind of stuff. I guess it is an upside too, because then you don't have to go to the potluck and be good. I don't know. What do you think, boys? Should we? I'm recording, but should we add another can of green beans? You think that's enough? I think that looks about right. I think this looks about right for this.
Those French onions on top, right?
Oh yeah, they're in the truck.
Good.
But no, they're not, because French onions they have carbs. Those are not keto, so we can't add them. Sorry.
That'll be fine. It'll get watery, a little watery once it starts to warm up. But
Well, that's why you add more cheese. Well, it's keto, but normally, so what normally you do is you put a little layer of cheese. You put a little layer of cheese, then you put. And this is what I do, and this is just a pro tip. Is I put a little layer of cheese, and then I put my tater tots on top of it, because that allows the tater tots to actually get brown, right? If you put the cheese on top of them, sometimes they don't brown as well. So you do whichever way you do, but I'm just telling you, for my uses, I usually put it below and then put the tater tots on top. So there we go. We got it nice and spread out. So since we're doing it over the campfire, we're gonna go ahead and put some aluminum wrap, some Reynolds wrap on top. Now, normally with this, you can look it up for your particular oven and situation, but normally for this, I think you just bake it for like 45 minutes, an hour. And this is something that it really, this is one of those things I discovered that I can make pretty well, because it's all about the ingredients, fellas. Use quality meat, you season it with a little bit of Lowry's, and you use some decent cheese. It's tasting pretty good. And yeah, so we've somehow stumbled upon keto tater tot casserole. And you know what else I did? This is why it's special. I have another pan underneath this one for the chicken that I didn't take this one out of yet. So that's cool. That's great. That's ideal. You know, I'm recording it. I'm doing this live. We're going live for the YouTube. So anyway, I totally intended on doing it that way. But if you're baking this in an oven, you don't want to put this on top. Initially, my plan was I was going to put the Reynolds wrap on top. Probably going to do 2 layers of it, and then let it cook for about a half hour, then start adding some coals from the fire, because that would have helped crisp up the top of the tater tots. So now it is
crunches for your dish. Crunch them up on top.
Those are low carb.
brilliant.
There you go.
Oh, Bushcraft Billy came through with a clutch idea. We are doing it live today, boys. Woo! So Bushcraft Billy just had a brilliant idea. Probably negating. These are keto. If all you got is what you got, that's all you got. Shout out to Outlaw Camper. We're gonna add some stuff that he brought with. We're gonna add some ramen noodles. We're gonna crunch them up here. We're gonna spread those across the top so we have some crunch. Oh, this is a special. We're gonna spread some of these across the top because they should get some of that moisture that comes up from the bottom. Did you see that? Woo! All right. So we're gonna put the last of the, you didn't see that, the last of the ramen noodles on top of this, because why not have something a little crunchy, just like the, these should bake a little bit. We're just not gonna see that we did that. Okay. So we've improvised. Improvisation is the key. Now, go ahead and we're gonna save the Cheetos for the finish, right? So that should, hopefully, we should get some of the moisture and those should crisp up. So we're gonna go ahead And we're gonna, I would guess this will probably take 45 minutes or so over the fire. What do you think? Yeah. All right. I got my, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on the fire, and I'll be back to you in a bit when I start preparing the chicken. And that one I actually have everything for, and that one is going to be interesting. So let's be back in just a second. All right, we are back, and now it's time to make what I call church lady chicken. And I call that because, like I said in the intro, Mom's been making it forever out of this cookbook that she got when I was a kid at church. So it's been probably 40 years ago. Anywho's, this is different than anything else I've tried. Now, normally for this, you use full chicken breasts. Like you just use, you know, boneless chicken breasts or whatever. I am modifying it a little bit, and this works too by using tenderloins. And the reason I'm doing that is because we're cooking over a campfire, and I don't want to send everybody home with gastrointestinal distress because I don't cook a chicken breast all the way through. I will say I've done this before. Works good. Isn't as juicy as doing full breasts. But it still works out pretty good. This way it gives all the fellas some good food to eat. So, and again, you can do as many as you want. Usually, you know, 1 or 2 breasts a person, however much you want to do. You know, that'll give you an idea. This was, how much was it? This was 2 pounds, and it filled up this is about ideal. You want your pan to look like this. You want a little room around everything, okay? Because you want, and we're gonna get to why in just a second, but this is another one of those meals that you guys can cook for the lady, or you can cook for the get-together, and cook for the family meal, and everybody's gonna be impressed at how good it is for the amount of effort you put into it. All right, so the next part that we need for this is we need cream of chicken soup. So this is one that you just kind of eyeball, all right, if you're me. So I'm gonna see how it works out. And this is part where it's special again, because you just saw me get that all over myself. So maybe use a spoon or fork or something and spoon it in on top of the raw chicken. Kind of want to spread it out a little bit. It's going to spread out as it cooks. It's fine. We'll probably end up using, I think we'll use 3 cans for this pan. It's about usually what I use. I think the recipe calls for 1 or 2. I don't know. The nice part about this is the more you use, it becomes gravy. All right, so we're going to end up doing probably, just to cover this whole pan, we're going to do 3 cans. And I'm going to show you what else we're going to add. So that's the first thing we're going to do is that. While we're doing this, you know, remember, a lot of this kind of stuff you can modify for cooking over a campfire, and there's nothing better than a campfire cooked meal, in my opinion. There's something about the smell, the outdoors, just gets me going, including this giant freaking fly that flew on me. So, do that. Do 1 more. Okay, we're back. So you got your, so here's kind of what I've done so far. You want to see? We got the 3 cans kind of spread out. Now we got some milk. Now what I'm doing today, I don't usually have milk at home, so obviously I just bought whatever they had at the old Quickie Mart. Just kind of spread it out. So fill a can full of it. It's kind of a little, swish it around, get some of the extras in the can. And again, the more of this you add, you're going to see later, this kind of becomes like a gravy. That if you have potatoes with this or something else, it becomes really good. So that's about perfect. 1 can. I think my eyeballs are telling me 1 can for this size and for what I have here is perfect based on what I've made before. That's that. Now here's where the magic starts happening. Now, this particular brand, you can use other brands. That's what I use. Good Seasons, and this is what the 40-year-old recipe calls for, Italian dressing mix. And you know what you do with this is you just gonna go sprinkle it all over, okay? Sprinkle that all over there. Get it spread out in there, okay? So you do that. And then, here's where we start getting fun. Swiss cheese, just sliced Swiss cheese, or you can do shredded if you want to. Sliced works better because it stays thicker, or you can slice your own. But the recipe calls for putting a slice over each chicken breast. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to cover the whole pan with it, because again, it just kind of adds to that flavor. It's and the finished product is something interesting, and you're going to see that when it's done. That's what always gets me about this. And the funny thing about this is I always thought that this, as a kid, you know, and as an adult stuff, when mom would make this, I always thought this was something that was a probably kind of a hard recipe. But as I got, what's funny, as a kid and an adult, I always thought that this was like a hard recipe to make, until my my folks were getting their kitchen redone, and they came over and they wanted me to cook dinner at my place, and I said sure, and they brought stuff, and they're like, okay, we want you to make the church lady chicken. And I'm like, oh Lord, is this easy? So you cover, again, we kind of got that covered with Swiss cheese. I've overdone it on the Swiss cheese because when I make it, I like it cheesy. And the final thing you do, and you're supposed to do melted butter on top. You can do, actually the recipe, because this is pure 80s for those of you that grew up in the 1980s, the recipe actually calls for margarine, but I use butter because butter's better. But we're just going to kind of go ahead and, you know, spread it out. It calls for a quarter cup of margarine or butter. You can skip this, by the way, if you want to. It's going to taste just as good without it. I'm staying true to the recipe, and true to the nice church lady that put it in the cookbook 40 years ago. So that's what you do. And if you were going to make this in an oven, you would put this in a pan just like this, and you do 40 minutes at 350, and it turns out perfect. You basically want it to be a nice melty on top. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, thank you to my production assistant off to the side, my film crew. Yeah, right. Bushcraft Billy over there for helping out. But that's what you do. You spread this all out. You put this like this. You just use a regular pan at home. Usually I use one of those glass pans, and you cook it just like this for 40 minutes at 350, but we're going to put it over the campfire. And we're going to cover it in Reynolds wrap. Okay, Billy. You cover it in Reynolds wrap, and we're probably going to sit it on the campfire for an hour or so, because again, I don't want to give everybody salmonella. Everything in here was cold, so it all has to cook through. But this is what we call good stuff. And it's, again, guys, this is another easy one you can make that you can impress the ladies with, or the ladies at church with, or your mom or grandma, and be like, hey mom, grandma, I got a new recipe you gotta try out. You know, and kids like this. That's the best part. Yeah, kids, they like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the campfire, and I'll be back at you guys in a bit. All right, guys, everything is done, and it looks amazing. I'm just going to do an initial, there's some of the casserole. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Randy, come here and get some. Look at that. Here, I'm going to give you more. No, you need more than that. And then let's get the chicken out. Check this out. We did get some stickage to the bottom here. We did, but it's okay. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Here, get more. Oh, there we go. Chris, you ready? Oh my gosh, that's, yeah. We did sure. Get some baking to the bottom. Here, have some more chicken. It's browned.
I got any chicken.
Now you need more breast.
No, I don't. I need some of this.
Look at that. Oh my God.
Thank you, sir.
No, you want more?
Nope, that's it.
How about it, Billy?
I'll come back for seconds.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without seconds. So again, we did cook to the bottom a little bit, but look at how well this turned out on the campfire. I'm amazed. Similar, that cooks down a lot more. The chicken does cook down a lot more in the oven, but the best part about it is the gravy, and you can use that if you have, you know, some potatoes with it or whatever. It tastes amazing.
Tater tots?
You mean tater tots? Yeah. If somebody wouldn't forget tater tots, here you go, Billy. You want a whole bunch of this? Let's get you loaded up.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Perfect.
All right.
He needs more. He needs more.
He does need more. So we're gonna go ahead and sit down and eat and have our little Friendsgiving here. But that is how well it turned out. Obviously, you see some of the casserole burnt to the bottom. Kind of the nature of the beast of cooking on a campfire. But I'll be back up to wrap up with you later. But yeah, I was about an hour on the
chair you're sitting in, Barnard.
on it. Well, thank you, Mr. Fire Pit. You may be empty now, but you did a great job cooking our food, and we appreciate it. All that's left now is ashes. Well, I'm sure you could tell by looking at it that dinner was fantastic. It was amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the cook. It was pretty universally agreed that it was amazing. Obviously, the church lady chicken is always the star of the show. I mean, that stuff is so good. And it really reminds me a lot about family, about kids, about being a kid. And that was what was great, is to be out here. I was going to film more. If you couldn't tell, it's a week later. I didn't record anymore. I just sat out here with my buddies and we talked. We had a good time for a couple hours. And then turned the camera back on because it was really nice to have that, you know, that time to just kind of hang out and relax and have kind of a Friendsgiving, if you will. With some of the things that what's funny about that church lady chicken is, like I said, I've had it since I was a kid, so it just brought back memories of family dinners with, you know, my parents, my family, and then my children. And it just made me think a lot about Thanksgiving and being thankful this year. And that's really what I want to talk to you guys about. Is from the bottom of my heart, I am thankful for every single one of you. And if you're by yourself on Thanksgiving today, then, you know, I'm here with you. If you're a subscriber, you're by yourself, I'm here with you. And I just want you to know that, to me, you're family. You guys have given me something this year. It's really hard. It's really tough to talk about because I'm pretty humbled. I'm pretty humbled by it. When I started Big Ben's Outdoors, in fact, it's funny, those two good buddies of mine, Chris and Randy and Billy, were bugging me 2 years ago to start doing YouTube. And in fact, the first video I actually recorded, not the first video I released, I did it 2 years ago on our fall camp out, the RC Cars camping one. I just did it on a whim, and so I recorded that. And then the first video that you actually saw, I recorded, they finally talked me into it last year. I recorded on December 8th of 2024, and I released on Big Ben's Outdoors, came to be December 31st of 2024, and I released my first video. And when I did that, I thought, you know what, man? If you get, because YouTube's hard. It's hard. If you get 100 to 500 subscribers your first year, man, you're killing it. You know, I was feeling pretty happy about that. I'm like, if you could do that, you could get like 10 to 20,000 views. I would just have been over the moon. As of right now, it's sitting at 2,080 subscribers, and we're just barreling in on 200,000 views on my videos. And I'm deeply humbled. I'm deeply thankful because this is what I needed. You guys are going to see a lot of different stuff coming next year, I hope, because I have a lot of different plans. I will still be doing the survival kits. I have a whole thing, like, I'm going to get into it in a second, but I just wanted to first appreciate my heartfelt gratitude for all of you out there who have watched my videos, who've liked them, who've subscribed, who've commented, who've engaged, who've emailed me. I've had several of you do that. You guys are great. Gosh, it's like I'm at the Oscars, you know. Like, I want to thank all of you. Like, this is amazing. It's been fun, and I've been enjoying sharing it. And there's going to be a lot more journeys to share. And that's what I'm getting at, is next year, in the next couple months, I'm going to start switching it up a bit. We are still going to have survival kits every month, two a month. Every other Thursday, we'll have survival kits, as long as I still have enough to review. Because I know that's the bulk, but the bulk you came for, we're going to do that. We're also going to be doing more cooking, campfire cooking, stuff like this. Do more of that. We're going to be doing more talking about gear, talking about stuff like, you know, like my walking bag. You know, I want to share this with you, so maybe this gives you some ideas. I'm going to do more outdoor stuff. Like, instead of just sitting around here, do more. I'm going to try to get more comfortable carrying the damn camera while I'm out walking. That's just always been a thing. It's like, I'm going to run into a tree or two, but at least it'll make for funny content. But that's kind of what I want to do, and more camping. We got a camp out planned the week after Thanksgiving, and then another one in January, and then the Midwest Bushcraft Show in February. And I got new stuff coming. Man, I'm excited to share with you guys. It's just cool. And speaking of being thankful, I really am. I'm excited for that. I'm deeply thankful for all of you who've reached out, including vendors. Boobin, man, you guys, I'm going to just throw a shout out to you. You guys have been awesome to work with. Never once, here's a light, review it, do your thing. We don't care what you do. But we're going to talk more about that too next year. But I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to also try to do 2 videos a month, or 2 videos a week, starting in December. So you'll see something probably on Tuesdays and Thursdays until State Park Sundays come back. So that's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to kind of mix it up with some of the stuff I'm putting out there. So again, starting in December, 2 videos a week. But man, you guys, I can't summarize how thankful I am this year. Last year was rough. I'm not going to lie. Last year was rough. I've talked about it before, but my dog Gunner, he was my black lab. He passed away last September. But prior to that whole year was kind of the long goodbye. I knew it was coming, and it was just a matter of when. He was 14 years old. Just, if an animal ever was, he just was one of those that got me, and he was my partner in crime. We did so many outdoor adventures. He was such a good dog. And it was pretty rough saying goodbye to him in September. And after that, I was just kind of checked out for a bit. And Big Ben's Outdoors, this has allowed Big Ben's Outdoors has allowed me to get back out and reconnect out here. This year, you guys, there's been some rough times this year. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna get into details, but like I mentioned, a family member having a health issue, and that was rough this summer. But during that time, I had some videos queued up and I put them out. And the responses, the talking to you guys, I had one guy that emailed me about Lake McConaughey and how he was hoping I had more footage of a certain area because he as a kid had spent time there, and just his heartfelt thanks, and just like hearing his story, and just how happy he was to have that footage that I sent, that I kept because I keep all my footage, that I sent him, and just that made it all worthwhile, man. Like, you guys, it took me through a lot of really tough days. I ain't gonna lie, the summer was rough. There was a month there that was pretty intense. But that's why I want to give back. That's why I want to be thankful. I want to give you guys what you want. So again, more survival kits coming, more stuff like that coming, more, gear stuff, like showing you my walking bag. So maybe you can get comfortable making something like this. Had someone suggest, Ant Lab DNA, the lady from there suggested, some how-to videos on winter camping and things like that to make people more comfortable out there. Absolutely. I've learned how to not freeze to death, mostly, winter camping. So yeah, I'll be happy to share that. But really just, this has been a wild year, and I just want you to remember your family and friends during this time, because man, without them, I wouldn't be here making these videos. Without my buddies Chris, Randy, and Billy, who pushed me and encouraged me to do this. My buddy Chris and my buddy Shane, who they already have much more established channels that they've pushed me out there. You guys are the best, even when you're not, and even when you're driving me crazy and speaking in the video, and I have to cut the Thanksgiving special like 682 times because of it. You know who you are. And I've also along the way made some really good buddies here on YouTube. Jack from Outlaw Camper. If you ever watch his videos and you wonder if Jack is genuine, Jack is probably the most genuine kind of guy you're going to get. And I can't stress enough how I can't believe that I have more subscribers now than he does. It's stupid. Okay, you guys need to go subscribe to Jack the Outlaw Camper. He's doing something different than anybody else out there, and he's having fun doing it. And he's just genuine and doing his own thing because he wants to. He's not doing it for money. He's like me. He doesn't want to do it for money. It's just this is our hobby. So Jack has been awesome. talking to him. Whitty from Whitty's Gear Reviews, man, thank you so much. Him and Jack putting out videos, sharing stuff is what pushed me over that 1,000 mark, which seems like a year ago, but it was like a month and a half. You guys genuinely couldn't have done it without you. And Whitty, if you are looking for it, if you're looking for budget outdoor gear or an honest man's outdoor gear, go look at what Whitty's reviewing. I swear I have to ration myself on Whitty videos, because if I don't, it's like, oh, here's the Amazon guy again. Here's the Temu guy again. UPS is here with more stuff. Oh man, it's I really enjoy Whitty's videos and his reviews and how he goes so in depth with stuff. So yeah, Whitty, thank you. And Jack, thank you. And a big thank you. Man, you guys, I'm just so thankful this Thanksgiving. A big thank you to my family, especially my Aunt Georgia, my Uncle Pat, and my cousin Rick up there in Wisconsin. Having you guys watch, getting messages from you guys, talking to you guys while I'm up there. It's been great. It's really great to have that support. And to all my friends that have watched, you guys know who you are. And man, this is a big one. My fiance April, without her, none of this is possible. And I'm going to be frank, I would have never been able to get out for those State Park Sundays trips. Like me going, hey, I'm going to just jump in the truck by myself or take one of the dogs and I'll be gone for 2 or 3 days. Okay. Well, she's holds down the fort. She encourages everything I do, and she's got some great ideas. There's been a lot of video ideas that have spurred from things she's mentioned. So big thank you to her. And we also have some ideas. She's had some really good ones of stuff coming forward that you'll see in the future. I'm pretty excited about it. But really this year, man, this is a polar opposite of last year. Last year was rough. Like I said, it had been a rough couple of years. And saying that long goodbye to Gunner, there wasn't a whole lot of thanks or optimism. I mean, there was a lot of thanks. I was gracious to my family or whatever, but there wasn't a whole lot of optimism. This year, you guys just got to remember, when one door closes, when it seems like, God's just piling it on you, sometimes another one's opening. And yeah, that's been this year. It's because of all of you. Every single one of you out there that's watched these videos. I still can't believe it. I still look at my statistics and my analytics and it just blows my mind. I am deeply grateful. I'm deeply lucky in the fact that this will never be a job for me. You're never going to see that. You'll never see paid promotions. You'll never see me reading ads, because frankly, I have a very good job. I have a great job, and I have a boss that is amazing. I know is never going to watch this. And I have coworkers. They say, don't be the smartest guy in the room. For the longest time, I was the smartest guy in the room. Now I am very thankful that I am not the smartest guy in the room. And I work with some of the smartest people I've ever worked with in my entire life. It's really great people. And it is just, I'm really, really thankful of that. And I'm thankful of the fact that this is my lunch break. I can go jump in my truck, go 10 minutes outside of town and sit down and have a chat with you guys, take a little walk, go back, then sign into work. So I just want to end this one now, again, with my thanks to all of you, every single subscriber out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone that's watching this video, I hope you're having an amazing Thanksgiving. And I hope that maybe this will, give you some ideas on some good Thanksgiving food to make. And I hope that you're going to stick around for next year, because I just have so many ideas and so many adventures I have planned that I want to take you with, that I want to show you that everybody can get out here. Everybody can do this. If an old fat guy with two bad knees, bad shoulder, a bad back can do it, you can. So I'm deeply thankful to every single one of you. And like I said, to my friends, Chris, Randy, and Billy, Shane, my camping buddies, the boys, thank you guys. To my family up north, you guys, again, thank you. And again, thank you so much to my fiance, April, who has just been rock solid supportive through all of this. A year ago, I was in a pretty sad space, and now I'm sitting out here in a park right before Thanksgiving, and just deeply humbled. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and go down there and hit that subscribe button, because it's free. As Jack says, don't cost nothing. And while you're down there, I have some of my good friends. Those ones I mentioned, Chris, Randy, Jack, and Whitty. I've linked all their channels down below. Please go visit them, subscribe, watch their videos. Just give them, they got some good stuff. And while you're down there, you knew where I was going to say it. We were talking about dogs, so it's coming. Just wait for it. Wait for it. While you're down there, please consider supporting your local animal rescue and animal shelter, be it with your time, money, or even better, adopt a new best friend. I told you, I wouldn't trade a minute, even though the heartbreak of last year, even though that just killed me. I wouldn't trade it for the world for the times that I had with Gunner, for the times I had with my dog Jazzy that passed away, for the times I had with my beagle Claudia that passed away, for my cats, even the old kitties that I used to have, and then now my dogs, Daphne, Bronco, and as you've seen them, Goose, who are just the best. So those dogs actually came from some of the shelters I have linked down below. So if you don't have your own local animal rescue or animal shelter, I've linked some where I've adopted pets that will love your help. But most of all, thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving. God bless every single one of you. See you soon.